So the Revit interface is kind of similar to the AutoCAD. So you have this drawing space, you have the two properties, one basically a project browser that shows all the items that is within your drawings, including, for example, right now, even if I haven't started any drawings, I have two levels for these drawings. The plans for the ceilings, the elevations, and the other information, and we're going to get to that later. This piece is basically the properties of the of whatever object I select, and whenever I don't select anything, that basically show the properties of that view that I'm looking for, and it's all the information about that basically level. Like, for example, right now I'm in the floor plan level 1, and you see that that basically says about the floor plan. It's all the information. For example, what is the scale of this view that I'm looking for, how it's going to be displayed, level of detail in these drawings, and all the other information all the way down here. If I change this one to the east view, you see that all of a sudden this properties is changing. So, for example, right now if I select this level symbol, you see that that level symbol selected, and then the properties change to that properties. It says that the elevation is 10 for that elevation, and the story above is default, and the scope, there is no scope box for that, and it's basically show the building story. It's not a structural level. So if I click outside here, that's going to get back to the properties of that level. If I get back to the different 2D drawings, including all these things that I can see here, you see that I have this like a little box here that is a navigation box, same as what we have in AutoCAD. So basically, if I click here, you see that this navigation will show itself up. It's going to be giving me an option of pan, go this side and that side, give me the option of zoom, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, and it's going to be giving me the option of review to the different view that I have. Same thing in terms of the zoom. I have a different option. I can zoom this to fit into my drawing. I can just zoom in, or for example, zoom into the region. So I'm going to click here and then zoom in that region, and I can zoom back and zoom fit, or zoom 2x and then zoom multiple from zoom out from whatever I see. So I'm going to go with the zoom fit. So that's basically the same configuration for the navigation. Also, the same thing that we had, if I scroll up and down using my mouse, that's going to bring me zoom in and zoom out to my drawing. If I right click, I have a sets of different properties. Right now it's just the properties of this drawing, and also list of the commands that I run, and by basically using a window or like clicking on an object, I can select those objects. It's very similar to the AutoCAD interface. And if we get to the 3D view, if I go to the 3D view here, I don't want to save this at this time. If I had the option, if I press shift and then press the scroll bar, see that the navigation box kind of orbit around, and basically I can navigate through different spaces. So that's basically on the 3D view, which is on top here, right on the top in this quick access bar. So I'm going to go back to this level 1. The commands in the Revit is similar, kind of similar to how it's organized in AutoCAD. The difference is that here it's organized based on the discipline. So the first one is architectural, and I have a list of commands and components that I can bring to this drawing, and is basically related to the architecture of the building that I'm drawing. Second piece is a structure. All the structural elements that basically I can bring to this model is organized in a structural system, and I have this mechanical, ductwork system, piping system, and electrical all organized under the system. If I go to the Insert tab, this is basically where I can bring a different image file or CAD file, or import it as a GBXML file to this drawing. I even can link from one Revit file to another Revit file. Under the annotation, basically I can have all the dimension, very similar to what we have in AutoCAD. This is a detail. We're going to get to that when we get to the wall section. We can add more detail lines or like a detail information to our wall system, and this piece is going to be basically adding a text to our drawing. The analyze part is basically, we don't cover it in this course, but when you are creating all the structural components or adding all the mechanical system, you can analyze the mechanical system or energy usage of the building, or can also analyze the load combination and making sure the system works properly. You can also do like some solar analysis or lighting analysis and see that the building's design is properly modeled or not. Then we have here the massing that we're going to cover. We are going over the site model, how to create a different topography, and then create a component, site component, and add it to our drawing. And this piece, the conceptual mass, is basically adding the geometry to our drawings. Usually we don't cover this in our class, but basically when you have some geometry that you want to create and you want to place it in your drawing that you cannot basically working with this the architectural, you're going to use that. Or sometimes you want to create some sort of a facade or curtain system, you create it in this using by this conceptual mass. The collaboration is usually used when you are collaborating with the different people and you want to work with create a work sets, and then basically working with different people, and that's become very handy because 2 people, 3 people, 4 people can work on the same same Revit file, and that's become handy when, for example, one person working on an architectural system, the other person working on the mechanical system, and you want to collaborate and you want to work in one single file. The view part is basically change the setting of what we see here. Sometimes we show or hide some lines in our drawings, creating some cut profile, the visibility of different objects. If you want to create new drawings, for example, a new section or new elevation, we're going to use this section of the view. We're going to talk about this later. And if you want to do the renderings, this piece is basically helping us to do the rendering. Under the manage, what we mostly going to work on is going to be the project option, project location. So where they're going to be the location of this project, and then we're going to work on the material in order to adding specific material to the object that basically is not defined by the main component that we create. And then at the end, on the modify tab, we have this list of different tools, many of them very similar to what we work on the AutoCAD part, and it's basically helping us when we are selecting an object or when we're creating an object, architectural component, structural component, or system component. We can work and edit with those or modify those components.